News 12's Christie Ethridge got to meet one of those talented kids, only 9 years old, Christy.
Yeah, she's not even in the double digits yet, but don't let that age fool you. She knows what she's doing with the golf club, and this girl has a message as powerful as her swing. When 9-year-old Avery Zweig crushes a drive, she has two people to thank.
Ron and Don.
Although her giggles remind you she's still a kid, her words are well beyond her years.
Being a kid, this is just we're trying to grow the sport because it's not like you're on the PGA Tour.
But one day she could be. Avery won both the drive and chip categories in the drive, chip, and putt tournament on Masters Eve.
We were driving on the range over there. Your caddy can't hit the shots. It's all on you, and if you succeed, then you did well. But if you don't succeed, then you need to say, I need to work on this.
Oh, by the way, her caddy is her dad. On top of being #1 in the world on the greens, she's also got a heart of gold. Through a pledge campaign, she's raising money for a 2-year-old boy named Kason Crow, who's battling cancer.
Whatever I do, I think I should, if I'm a surgeon or anything, I think I should utilize my skills to help other people.
Now she's trying to recruit other people's skills, like those of her favorite golfer, Jordan Spieth. They're hometown buddies.
He's from Dallas, and I'm a big fan.
She even got to spend a little time with his dad.
I haven't played on greens that fast.
As they walked the course beside last year's Masters champ.
Is that Jordan up there?
Footsteps she hopes one day will be her own, but not for the reason you may think.
What do you want to be when you grow up? Are you trying to be a pro golfer?
I would love to be a pro golfer because I'm watching this and they also have free water, which I'm dying to get.
Sometimes you get thirsty out here in the Augusta sun. What can you say?
It gets hot under these lights.
But for a 9-year-old, you'd think being out here, especially playing at Augusta National, is as good as it would get.
So a pretty good gig.
Yeah, it's a pretty good gig, and for her first time, I mean, fantastic, but maybe not for her. I think it gets a little better. Her dad says that Jordan's dad, Sean, Jordan Spieth's dad, invited her out to a course in Dallas so the two can meet in person.
Good.
Those are some pretty good lessons, you know, if you get Spieth 101,
And you know what, I bet she'll even get some free water out there too, so maybe her dream will come true. We first introduced you to Jeff Kepner in 2009, right before he went into surgery.
At the time, all 4 of his limbs had been amputated because of a strep A infection, and he was using prosthetics.
Today I sat down with him about why he says he wants his new hands removed. There was so much hope after Jeff's historic surgery.
So we anticipate that it will be 9 to 12 months before Jeff would get feelings in his hands.
I was kind of convinced because they said, you will have mobility, you will have feeling. I said, well, you know, that's great. You know, I'll be able to hold hands, I'll be able to cook again, I'll be able to do everything.
But 7 years later, he says his hands aren't his. In fact, they're useless.
Has it gotten better or worse? Oh, worse. I was 75% mobile with my hooks. I could do a lot. Now I'm 0%. I can't do anything.
The surgery to replace both his hands was supposed to give him a new life. Now he says he feels trapped by them.
Because I worked, I drove, I shopped, I did everything. Now I can do nothing. Absolutely nothing.
So what do you do all day?
Sit here, watch television.
Hooked now on the view across from this chair. 4 years ago, he decided he wanted to go back to the prosthetics, but it's not an easy switch.
I like the doctors, you know. I really do. They did a good job. I like them. I have nothing against them, but it kind of ruined my life.
Despite the hands he never got, Jeff's sense of humor is still very much intact. Like when kids come up to him at the playground and ask him what happened.
And they said, "Why? How'd that?" I said, "Well, I didn't brush my teeth." And they, you know.
His wife retired in May, just before their 25th wedding anniversary, to care for him full time.
There are some of us that have to absolutely live our wedding vows, you know, for better, for worse, in sickness and in health, and for richer, for poor.
Proving, though his fingers have no touch, the feeling of love in this house is alive and well.
Just amazing. It looks like he's got some control. There's some movement there.
Yeah, he says he can feel temperature, like hot and cold, but he can't touch and feel surfaces. So like the armchair, it doesn't really register. But you know what, Richard, I mean, the impressive thing about this is that there's such an inspiration. It's the power of positive thinking. These people are completely living in the present and thankful for the small things, you know, that they do have. And on top of that, both Jeff and his wife are in the military. So sometimes he'll go over to the VA and talk to the troops who are doing physical therapy and talk to veterans over there. He says his case usually makes them feel better, which then makes him feel better.
In an exclusive On Your Side investigation, Christie Ethridge looks at how faulty brakes and working through severe weather left a family without a son.
Not many people know what it's like to lose a son. William Hill does.
But to find out that there was some problems with the equipment, some of the problems, I'm not sure what, because I haven't read the investigation.
But I have, and this is what it says. On June 22nd, 2015, Mike Hill boarded this crane when around 5:45 p.m., severe weather caused a microburst or small tornado. Those high winds pushed the cab of the crane down the track until it crashed into the rail stops. The force of the impact caused the crane to derail and the cab to dislodge and swing freely, only held by cables and wiring. As the cab dangled there, Hill was thrown from it, 70 feet to his death.
I'll never hear his voice again. I'll never be able to hold him again. It's a loss that I can't describe.
Mike's father, William, says he learned this through News 12 stories.
Other than what you have broadcast, I still don't know the details of the accident.
You might think that since weather was a factor, it couldn't be helped, but you'd be wrong. The accident happened around 5:45. This is a picture from our weather center of what the sky looked like at that time. People on site say the weather happened with no warning. Eyewitnesses say it was raining so hard you could barely see. The wind so strong it was shaking trucks. In the woodyard, they rely on security to notify them of bad weather. On this day, a worker says, quote, if security warned us, didn't hear it. But News 12 archives show there was plenty of warning.
There's some storms out there this afternoon, packing a punch.
We were on the air at 5:10, showing a cell with lots of lightning heading straight for the plant. The severe weather warning was issued 2 minutes later at 5:12 by the National Weather Service, an alert that would have come over the radio.
In our mind, we can picture Michael falling to his death from the crane. What went through his mind during that short period of time? It's the hardest part, just thinking about it all the time.
According to this OSHA report, weather wasn't the only factor. Over the radio, other workers heard Mike calling out, coming down, no brakes. Documents show the company had work orders to replace 4 of the 12 motor drives because of brakes being bad. Those were issued in February, 4 months before the accident. They were never replaced.
If they knew the brakes were defective, why were they allowing it to continue to operate?
OSHA cited international paper for 2 violations, 1 for not having proper braking means, and 2 for failing to ensure Hill was wearing a seatbelt. Those violations were only $7,000 apiece.
It's more than a slap in the face. It's just like you've been run over by a train. It's devastating.
Making it hard now, 7 months later, to move on.
I would like to see somebody held accountable for what happened. That's what the bottom line is. Accountability.
So obviously OSHA does a big job of investigating, but they also have recommendations when it comes to accountability. What about that?
They do. The accountability comes in a list of corrective actions that they have suggested for the plant. There are 7 pages of corrections that I've gone through, and I've listed some. The redesign crane procedure, including when to tie down the crane. They also mentioned upgrade the storm brake system, integrate an anemometer, which calculates wind speed, and install internet on the operator's computer so that they can monitor weather radar. Now, most of those corrective actions were supposed to be completed by last Friday, so I've reached out to the plant to see if they have. They gave us a general statement saying we continue to implement redesign improvements and enhance our safety management systems based on OSHA's findings.
But faulty brakes on a crane is a pretty serious violation. Has this family considered filing a lawsuit? Have they said anything about taking action against International Paper?
Well, they say that they have met with a lawyer, but according to laws in Georgia, because it is a workers' comp claim and he is no longer here, they cannot sue International Paper for a death on the job. Now, there may be other loopholes that an attorney might know about, but at this point, no, there's no lawsuit.
So $14,000 in fines.
And that's it.
All right.
Christie, thank you.
Christie.